Real estate is our life.
Well, on the left is the defending champion. On the right is the former runner-up. And it will be Michelle Johnstone, who leads it off out of Regina against Joanne Nadeau. Michelle won $1,075 and getting here will open for a strike as we play for $200 a frame.
Good lead-off shot. Now up to Joanne.
Joanne with her $950 and getting through. You got a strike here too. Oh boy, here we go.
Sit back and watch them happen.
So we'll carry over and play for 400.
Excellent shot crossing over. Good stuff on the ball. Topples that right corner. Carry the frame.
Yeah, sorry to step on you like that. It just seemed at first she may have hit it a little full.
Did, but the ball just kept working its way across, and that's the one that if you got a little stuff on the ball, it's going to give you that good action and topple those corners off. Now must come up with the left corner spare.
Joanne, the runner-up in the second year. Uh-oh, that's a mistake. Second year of the Pins game. That was back in the 88-89 season when she won $3,350. She appeared one other time, lost in the preliminaries.
13, the best she can do here. So a little miscue on her part. See if Michelle can take advantage of it. Watch as she lines up, sets herself to deliver the ball. Good reach through the shot and a good result.
Boy, that strike will give her the 2 frames and the $400 that goes with it.
So 2 perfect shots to lead things off for Michelle.
And it goes back to what you said more than once, is that you have to give yourself a chance, and being around the head pin does that. You may encounter, bad luck, but you've got to give yourself that chance.
And the more chances you give yourself on that first ball, the less chance the pins have to stand up. Evidence, Michelle Johnstone, 3 strikes, really quickly out of the gate.
And another frame, and another $200. And she was around the head pin, and you have to be prepared for that, but in Joanne's defense, at least she gave herself a chance.
She did, and that ball just moved a little bit on her at the end, went over to the left side of the head pin, hit it fairly thin, and ended up standing the left corner, which often happens on a thin shot, especially when you're going away from your target pin like the head pin is. So she needs to fix this up now, though. She struggled with it on the last frame. That's a better look at it.
For the spare here in 3, but the first 3 frames have gone to our defending champion, Michelle Johnstone.
Here's where Joanne has to take advantage of leading off. She needs to put a strike up there for Michelle to look at. Good lift.
Like that. Yep. So now for the first time, the pressure is really on Michelle Johnstone.
This shot establishes the standard. She leads off the 4th. Great ball. Knows that it's a good solid shot. Michelle now comes back and
there you go.
Gets tapped on the left side.
And so that will give Joanne Nadeau her first frame and $200. You know that obviously in 10 pin, if you cross over, it's called the Brooklyn. Do you try to stay on one side of that head pin or the other, or do you just try to hit the pocket on either side?
Well, each bowler will have their, if you want to call it a money shot.
Mm-hmm.
Some bowlers it'll be going into the head pin, some it'll be going away, crossing over, but either side will work effectively. As long as you've done all the little things in advance, getting the ball down to the head pin, and deliver it at the speed that you're comfortable with. Both sides will work for you. One usually more than the other.
Michelle gets her 15, sits at 131 through 4 as we go to the 5th, and not even close to the head pin there.
Pressed a little bit on that one, perhaps. Trying a little too hard to maybe deliver that one perfectly. And that's where the danger comes in, is when you try to force the ball to go someplace instead of letting it go. So let's see if she can recover.
Oh boy.
It's a break there.
Very much.
This one goes into it, and it's moving away from the head pin. As you can see here, just manages to cover it.
Goodness, just. Well, the spare in 5, so Joanne Nadeau. Strike? Yes, we'll give her another frame.
Game on. And save for the miscue in the second there, where she missed that left corner. Joanne has rolled very solidly here. Coming back now with strikes in 4 and 5, and gets to lead off in 6. Little lift up on it.
Come on. Nope, won't go.
Full shot.
Joanne from Alexandria, Ontario, which is in the eastern part, just east of Cornwall, towards the Quebec border.
This one ball got delivered just a little outside her target line. Came up, didn't cross over quite enough, and now a problem with the right corner. Leaving Michelle with an opportunity here when she gets up in just a second or two to respond to the final count that Joanne will establish.
And we talked in a previous week about the unforced errors, that kind of thing.
That's exactly it.
Manages to get the 15, but it stops the pin count in its tracks. And she sits at 157 through 6, and Michelle Johnstone now with any mark can pick up the frame.
Big break, almost carries the other one. That pin will remain standing. Judge of play Jim Head calling that one up. It's too slow on the way down. It did fall forward at the very last instant as you watch it. And a good call on this one as well. You can see the string starting to tug there. Shield is evident. That pin was not on its way down. It will be respotted. So her count on her first ball is 12. And she'll shoot at the left 3 pin that remains to try to convert the spare.
Oh, and again, just enough. Gets the spare, gets the frame, gets the $200. And now she's up by $400 in 2 frames. She cuts it very, very fine.
Just managed to grab those spares off by the thinnest margin. Off balance here and gets away with it. She knows that one.
Wow.
Pretty quick on the approach.
And her dad, Richard. We welcome him from Regina. That won't help. And in fact, that gives another frame to Michelle Johnstone here in 7. Now at $1,000, Michelle is on the verge of going over. She has the advantage in pin count too.
Whoa, that one almost made its way across there. It would have been a great spare, great for attitude going into the next shot in the 8th. Very close on this one. Squeezes it over. You can see it kind of helicoptering its way along, but falls off the pin deck. And finally the 15 count.
Back-to-back 15s for Joanne Nadeau. That hurts her as she gives up a frame, and her pin count will fall off the pace now.
Yeah, she'll be falling behind here. She needs to throw a strike now in the worst possible way. Good looking shot in thick though.
That's a bad break.
Looked like it was going to be moving across farther into the pocket on the left-hand side.
But you said there are some balls that will give you that little bit of extra action and maybe get that corner.
But you see how this one just starts to move away across and almost flattens out at the end. Able to thick hit the right corner, and now finally the spare.
Joanne's husband Mario, her son Julian. Nice to see them here. Hi there. From Alexandria, Ontario.
Here's the one that can close out the match.
Oh.
And will not.
Nope. Now this is a makeable spare?
Yes, but, and this is probably the only circumstance that you'd try to make this spare. She is faced with a spare from her opponent. If she doesn't spare this, she loses the frame anyway. So, frame's gone.
$200 is gone to Joanne Nadeau, who keeps herself alive, but as you say, has to start stringing some strikes together to bring her pin count back.
Exactly. She's 43 back through 7 frames. Michelle now with 15 in this frame brings her total to 230 through 8. The best that Joanne can have, should she strike the next frame, is 202, so she's going to be 28 sticks behind, and the game is almost over. A little wobble here.
Suddenly has lost the focus of the head pin.
This time missed it by just that little margin that she got it with before. So shaping up for Joanne to still make a run at this.
Michelle, who's an assistant manager at A&B Sound, picks up a 15 here in 9. So back-to-back opens for Michelle after Joanne had back-to-back opens in 6 and 7. Look at this. This still isn't done.
No, absolutely not. Michelle can throw 45. That would be the key for her, give her a 290 score. Joanne can beat that 290 score with a 292 if she was to strike out. However, she would have ended up splitting the frame in that eventuality. So right now with the miss, it's turning out to be a bit of a moot point, although she can still pick up this frame. You never know what's going to happen in this game until that last shot is thrown. Doesn't cover the spare again. That's 3 corners she's missed this game.
Yeah. So now looking to get the corner for the 15 and force the carryover for the to the final frame of play for the remaining $400.
Must have it?
No, she doesn't. Isn't that something? So she scores a 13, 213, and that $200 will go to Michelle Johnstone, and that definitely puts her over the top and into the final. Michelle Johnstone will have a chance to repeat as the women's 5-pin champion. And now that strike. 1 frame too late for Joanne Nadeau.
Exactly. A good ball there. Just 1 frame late. And especially the corner spares. Those were the glaring errors in this game for Joanne back in the 2nd, the 6th, and then the key one in the 9th. Pops a head pin, carries an extra deuce with it. Again, we had a string trigger a pin as going down. Michelle sitting back comfortably. We'll re-rack this last pin that's supposed to be there, and Joanne will deliver her last shot. So 213, possible 27 counter, and could bring her total up to 240, but doesn't. So the 22 count, the final game of 235.
The edge came off Joanne Nadeau, I think, when she sensed it was out of reach. That 13 and 9, killing any chance that she may have had.
Oh, good ball there. Stubborn right corner. Looked like a more deserving effort than that. Opportunity for the spare, though. And then a chance to beat the 22 count if she can pick this corner. Does not. So final frame to Joanne Nadeau.
So she'll leave with an additional $800. Take $1,750 home to Alexandria, and Michelle Johnstone will stumble into the final as she wins, picking up $1,200. Our defending champion, makes the most of a very quick start, and then survives a couple of opens in 8 and 9, and then a 13 count in 10. As she picks up $1,200, now $2,275, and a chance to win a lot more in the final.